In 1926, a man published a small book of financial rules set in a city that had been buried under sand for 2,000 years. The rules inside were not his invention. He had found them carved onto clay tablets dug out of the ruins of ancient Babylon, tablets that were already 4,000 years old when he discovered them. He turned them into parables, printed them as pamphlets, and handed them out through banks and insurance companies for free. Nobody expected the pamphlets to survive. Nearly a century later, the book has sold over 2 million copies, has never gone out of print, and the rules inside it have not been changed by a single word. Not because nobody tried to improve them, because nobody could. The book is called The Richest Man in Babylon, and if you have ever wondered why your salary keeps going up, but your savings never seem to follow, the 7 rules inside it were written specifically for you. 4,000 years ago, by people who had the exact same problem. Alex is 31 years old. He earns a decent salary. He is not reckless with money. He pays his bills on time. He does not buy things he cannot afford. And at the end of every single month, his bank account looks almost identical to how it looked at the beginning. Not growing, not shrinking, just sitting there, like water that arrives and leaves at exactly the same rate without a single drop ever accumulating. One evening, he picked up this book from a colleague's desk. He read the first page standing up. Then he sat down and read the rest before he went home. By the time he finished, it was dark outside, and he had one thought he could not shake. These rules were written 4,000 years ago, and he had been breaking every single one of them. This is Vish Invest, where we break down money and financial decisions with real-life examples. Today we are going to talk about the 7 rules of wealth that were discovered in ancient Babylon 4,000 years ago, rules so simple that almost nobody follows them, and why Alex's entire financial life changed the month he started. Before we go any further, let me tell you where these rules actually come from, because the history is more interesting than the rules themselves. Babylon was not just a city. It was the financial capital of the ancient world. A city built in the middle of a desert with no natural resources, no rivers feeding trade, no geographical advantage whatsoever, and yet it became the wealthiest civilization of its time. Historians who studied the clay tablets found in Babylon's ruins were astonished to discover not just records of grain and livestock, but detailed financial contracts, loan agreements, interest calculations, and what appear to be the earliest written records of savings principles in human history. In 1926, an American author named George Clason wrote a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. He took the financial wisdom recorded on those ancient clay tablets and turned them into a series of parables told through the voice of a fictional character named Ar-Khad, a poor scribe who became the wealthiest man in the ancient city by following a handful of principles so simple they fit on one page. The book has sold over 2 million copies. It has never gone out of print. And here is the extraordinary part. The rules Ar-Khad teaches have not changed in 4,000 years because human financial behavior has not changed in 4,000 years. The mistakes people make today are identical to the mistakes the Babylonians were making, and the cures are identical too. Alex read the whole book in one sitting. Then he read it again the next morning with a pen and a notebook, and then he started following the rules. What happened over the next 18 months changed how he thought about money permanently. Rule 1. Pay yourself first. This is the foundation of everything, and it sounds so simple that most people read it, nod, and do not actually do it. Ar-Khad's first rule was this: for every 10 coins that enter your purse, take out only 9 for your expenses. The 10th coin is yours to keep, not to spend later, not to save if there is anything left at the end of the month. The 10th coin leaves your account the moment your salary arrives and goes somewhere you do not touch. Before rent, before groceries, before every other obligation, Alex had always told himself he would save whatever was left over at the end of the month. That is how most people operate. The problem is there is almost never anything left over. Expenses expand to fill the income available. It is not a personal failing. It is a consistent pattern of human behavior that has been documented for 4,000 years. Ar-Khad called it this: what each person calls their necessary expenses will always grow to match their income unless they resist. When Alex switched to paying himself first, automatically transferring 10% of every paycheck into a separate account the day it arrived, he discovered something strange. His life did not change. His expenses somehow adjusted. He was not deprived. He had simply removed the money from the pool before his brain could find a reason to spend it. In the first year of doing this, Alex saved more than he had in the previous 4 years combined. Rule 2. Control your expenditures. The second rule is where most people get it wrong, and the Babylonians understood this failure so clearly that Arkad devoted more time to this rule than any other. Here is the problem with every modern budgeting system. They ask you to restrict yourself, spend less, cut back, go without. This framing positions your spending as a problem and you as someone who cannot be trusted with money. Arkad's rule was completely different. He did not say spend less, he said know the difference between your necessary expenses and your desires. And do not confuse the two. Alex sat down one evening and wrote out everything he spent money on in the previous month. Then he went through each item and asked one question. Is this a necessity or a desire? Not, is this good or bad? Not, should I be ashamed of this? Just, necessity or desire? The exercise took 45 minutes. What he found in those 45 minutes shocked him more than anything the book had told him. He was not overspending on the obvious things. He already knew he ate out too often. What he had not seen were the invisible expenses. The 3 streaming services he had subscribed to at different points and never canceled. The monthly charge for a cloud storage service he did not remember signing up for. The 2 separate music platforms he was paying for simultaneously. The gym membership he had frozen and then unfrozen and then forgotten about again. None of these were large amounts individually. Together they added up to $212 a month, leaving his account automatically without him ever consciously deciding to spend it. $212 every month for services he had not chosen to continue. He canceled everything he did not actively use. The money he recovered did not feel like a sacrifice. It felt like finding cash in a coat he had forgotten about. Rule 3. Make your gold multiply. Saving 10% is the first step. But saved money sitting in a regular bank account loses value over time to inflation. Arkad's third rule addressed this directly. A part of all you earn is yours to keep, and that part must be put to work earning for you. This is compound interest. And the Babylonians understood it 4,000 years before anyone invented the word. Arkad described it this way. Put each coin to laboring that it may reproduce its kind. A stream of wealth that shall flow continuously into your purse, whether you work or travel. Alex opened a low-cost index fund and set up an automatic monthly investment the same day his savings transfer went out. He did not pick individual stocks. He did not try to time the market. He put money into a fund that tracked the broad market and left it alone. In the first year, the returns felt small. In the third year, the returns started to feel significant. In the 10th year, the returns on his existing investments will be larger than his original contributions. The money he saved in month 1 is still working. The money he saved in month 6 is still working. Every month's contribution is quietly compounding in the background while Alex goes about his life. The gold multiplying while he sleeps is not a metaphor. It is the mathematical reality of compound interest applied consistently over time. Rule 4. Guard your wealth from loss. This is the rule that separates people who build wealth from people who build wealth and then lose it. Arkad's warning was blunt. The first sound principle of investment is the security of your principal. Do not be seduced by large returns. Do not invest in things you do not understand. Do not take advice on money from people who have not demonstrated they know how to handle it. The penalty of risk is probable loss. Alex had a colleague who convinced him to put money into a cryptocurrency project in 2022. Alex did not understand the project. He did not understand the technology. He understood only that his colleague was excited about it, and the number had been going up. He put in $400. Within 8 months, it was worth $40. He tells this story not with shame, but with clarity. He broke Rule 4. He invested in something he did not understand on the advice of someone who was not qualified to give it. He got back 90% less than he put in. The loss was not ruinous, but the lesson was permanent. He now has a simple rule he follows before putting money anywhere. Can I explain clearly what this is, how it makes money, and what happens if it fails? If he cannot answer all 3 questions, he does not invest. Rule 5. Own your own home. Arkad called this the 5th cure for a lean purse. And it is the one rule that sounds the most outdated in 2026, but is the most misunderstood. Owning your home is not primarily about the returns. Property does not always appreciate dramatically. It does not always beat investing in an index fund. What it provides that renting does not is this: a forced savings mechanism with a fixed cost. Your mortgage payment is consistent. Your rent can rise every year. When Alex compared his cousin who had bought a small flat 5 years ago with his other cousin who had been renting at the same time, the difference was not dramatic in property value. It was in the psychological and financial stability created by a fixed housing cost that did not change while everything else went up. Owning a home is not magic, but it removes the single largest variable expense in most people's lives from the category of uncertain and makes it fixed. Rule 6. Ensure a future income. Arcad taught that a wise person prepares today for the needs of tomorrow. Every month that Alex contributes to his retirement investments, he is following Rule 6. Not because he thinks about retirement every day, but because he set it up as automatic and then stopped thinking about it. Here is the thing most people misunderstand about retirement savings. You are not saving for retirement. You are buying future freedom. The money going in today is purchasing the right to make choices later that people without savings cannot make. Alex does not know what those choices will be. He does not need to. He just needs the option to be available. Every contribution is an option he is buying for his future self, and options are worth having even when you do not know exactly how you will use them. Rule 7. Increase your ability to earn. The final rule is the one that all 6 rules before it depend on. Arcad's last teaching to his students was simple. Increase your income. Not by working longer hours, not by taking a second job out of desperation, but by deliberately developing skills that the world is willing to pay more for. Alex took 1 online course per year in a skill directly related to his work. The first year it cost him $300 and 40 hours of evenings and weekends. The skill he learned resulted in a promotion 18 months later. The second year he took a different course. The skills compound the same way money compounds. Every skill builds on the last. Every promotion enables the next savings rate. The gap between Alex's income at 28 and his income at 33 is not explained by luck or timing. It is explained by 4 deliberate skill investments that each paid for themselves many times over. Here is the truth about these 7 rules. None of them are complicated. None of them require a financial advisor, a trading app, or a premium subscription to anything. They require one decision made once, to pay yourself first, and then a series of habits built slowly on top of that foundation. Arcad, the richest man in ancient Babylon, understood something that thousands of years of financial progress has not managed to change. Money comes willingly and in increasing amounts to those who save at least a portion of what they earn. Invest it wisely, guard it from unnecessary risk, and continuously improve their ability to earn more of it. That is the entire system. 4,000 years old, still undefeated. Alex is not wealthy yet, but for the first time in his adult life, his bank account at the end of the month looks different from the beginning. Not by a dramatic amount, but by a consistent, growing, compounding amount that follows a line pointing in one direction. Up. I am Vish. If this video explained something clearly that felt complicated before, hit the like button. It helps more people find this. And if you want to know the exact things that smart people buy in their 20s to build wealth using these same principles, I made a video specifically for that. It is called 7 Things Smart People Buy in Their 20s to Generate Wealth. The link is on your screen. Click it, and I will see you there.